Hey everyone, hope you're keeping well. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers the Movie G1 Reissue Autobot Scientist Perceptor. And just like with Skywarp and Hound in this line, this is my very first G1 Perceptor, and I am so excited to get this guy out of the box. This looks fantastic, by the way, great artwork. I believe this is the same artwork used on Studio Series Perceptor's box. We got the transformation sequence on top, showing some nice images of the figure. There's the bottom. There are the sides. More figure pictures right there. On the back of the box, we got those pictures again. The same bio of the film that we've gotten on the boxes of all the figures in this line. There are the tech specs down there. Nice little bio of Perceptor. There's the same picture of him. You can clip this out if you want, but I'm not going to do that personally. I'm just going to leave that on there. So yeah, awesome box. Let's get this guy out of there. Oh yeah, there is Perceptor. Oh, looking fantastic. I love the colors on that. Really looking good so far. And again, this is my very first G1 Perceptor. So this is my first time experiencing this mold. He's just held in place there with some twist ties. And I assume that is where his accessories will be. So yeah, let's get this guy off of the cardboard and we will take a nice up-close look at him. So here he is off the cardboard, and I love the way he feels. He feels very solidly built, in terms of articulation and his joints. He feels very well put together. Again, first time handling this mold, and so far having a real good time with him. So let's take a wee look at the instruction booklet. There's this nice little bit of paper. Comes with all these all these figures in this line. And here is the instruction booklet. We'll have a nice little look at this here. Opens up to a nice long sheet here showing off all the instructions. There's the accessories. Okay. So, because I've never handled this mold before, I'm not entirely sure not entirely sure how everything works. Despite this being, quite an old figure. And look, this retains the, moving telescope function. Or microscope, whatever. Microscope, I think it's a microscope. I know the different kind of scopes, I swear. So, yeah, there's the instruction booklet. So let's take a look at Perceptor. Now let's try and attach his microscope. Let's see, how does this work? This way, I think. Does it just attach like this? You know what? I think I've got this the wrong way around. Yes, I do. Come on. There we go. That's that on there. So close up his chest. And that is the completed look. Love it. Giant microscope on his shoulder. But I love it. Looks great. Let's take a wee look at his accessories. So here are all of his accessories. We got the missiles on the sprue. We got his little launcher, although I doubt there is a spring in this. I guess we'll find out. And here is his little blaster. All done in red. And we shall put this into his hand. Looking great. Very cool. Again, loving the colors. The colors are really popping. I like the silver right there. Like with the other figures in this line, there are no chrome parts. On the original, release of this guy, this and this were all chrome. The chest was chrome. So no chrome here. But overall, I still think he looks very nice, very visually appealing. Maybe, at some point I might see if I can find some chrome pieces, online and see if I can maybe put them onto this guy, see how that looks. But for now, I'm very happy with how this guy has turned out. And, I'm just playing around with the articulation as I learn it, So the knees bend right there. go in and out. That's for transformation. There's no real kind of, structure to this whole video. This is just me taking a look at this guy and just having a bit of fun. The toes go up and down. Does the head move? No. Yeah, I think I although I've never had this mold before, I have seen the odd video review, and I know that this little gear, makes the head go up and down. So let's see if that's gonna work. Yes, it does. Look at that. Peekaboo. That's my best Perceptor voice. Now, in terms of these pieces, it looks like I'm gonna have to take one of these missiles off, but that's okay. I'll just go ahead and do that right now. There. Take the middle piece off. So I may clean up the little excess bits of plastic at the side there, but for now, let's see how this works. Moment of truth. Is there a spring? No, there's not. There's no spring in this. If I'm remembering correctly, because I've done a bit of reading up on the history of the Perceptor toy. If I've got this correct, the Japanese version of him had the spring in here, whereas the Hasbro version did not. But there is no spring in this, so this will only just be for display purposes, or you can pretend you're shooting a missile. Imagination is a wonderful thing. Let's just put this into his hand. So there he is, all armed and ready to take on any Deceptipunks that come his way. Now, as you can see, G1, so not much articulation. You can get him going, pew, pew, pew. Let's see, can we get him into some cool little action poses or something? I don't know. This I think maybe do that. That seems to work better. There we go. Who knows? I may even use that as the thumbnail pose. What do you reckon? I mean, if you're watching this, you've seen the thumbnail, so you already know. But I reckon I might. I reckon this might be the one for the thumbnail pose. I like the look of that. So yeah, loving the feel of this guy so far. Oh, actually, let's try the microscope function. So if I twist this, will that work? Oh, yes, it does. Oh, that's cool. So you can. That's pretty cool. Now, actually, hold on. Let's have a look, because I know that on the original version of this guy, in the microchange line and in the original G1 version of him, this actually worked as a functioning microscope. So let's see. Don't know. I have no idea how this is going to work by pointing the lens of the camera down the microscope. But yeah, this isn't going to work. Hold on, I'm going to have a look through this microscope myself. Okay, so you can look through it, but the image, at least on mine, is quite blurry. There's really not a lot to see, when you're looking down it. But still, it's cool that you get the twisting, extending microscope function out of that. That's much appreciated. Adds some good playability to it. I don't know how clearly the image looked through the original version of Perceptor, either the microchange one or the Transformers one. But like I said, in here it is quite blurry, so But hey ho. Let's see. Does this? Yeah, this goes down. That's probably for the complete, microscope mode this guy transforms into. Clips into there. And let's see. Does this go up and over to the other shoulder? Does it? Let's put his head down. Lift his head up. And there we go. You can have the microscope on his other shoulder. So, personal preference. Take your pick. I think it looks good either way. Right, so let's compare him with the other figures in this line, at least the ones that I own. So here is Thundercracker. As you can see, he's quite a bit bigger than Thundercracker. Obviously, not to scale, at least if we're going by the scaling of the cartoon, but because of the history of these toys, with him being Diaclone and Microchange, these guys were not originally supposed to scale together, so I can forgive it, and they're both fun figures, and they both have been translated very well into this line. Both their colors really, really pop and look fantastic. So there you have that. And here he is with Hound, an absolute titan next to Hound. Hello down there. How are things? Not bad. Okay, I'm not getting into the whole skit there. But here they are, next to each other. Here he is next to Hot Rod. These two definitely look more, in scale. The Perceptor is still a wee bit taller. And just for fun, while we're comparing reissues, here he is next to my 2012 commemorative series G1 Optimus Prime reissue. And yeah, Prime in the cartoon was definitely taller than Perceptor. Obviously, this guy is not part of the this new retro reissue line, so he still has all his chrome parts, all his stickers, and the yellow eyes, whereas he has the blue eyes. But just for fun, there they are next to each other. And here he is next to Studio Series Perceptor. And Studio Series Perceptor seems to have more muted red on him, whereas Retro Reissue Perceptor, his red seems a lot more vibrant and a lot more bright. So that's a bit of an observation there, and get back in there, Missile. And actually, just for fun, let's move the microscope over to the other shoulder, get his head back up, and there you go. Right, so I'll get this guy transformed and we'll have a look at him in microscope mode. Right, so here he is in microscope mode. Let's take a nice close look at it. Very nice, in my opinion. Nice little laboratory piece right here. I'm sure some nice scientific stuff could be going on here. The working microscope function still works. This can go up and down. Can also look, side to side, like that. And this piece can go up and down. You could put some stuff in here for Perceptor to examine. I mean, it works. It does what it's set to do, and I think it pulls off being a microscope very nicely, I think. So here he is with Thundercracker. And as you can see, that is a gigantic microscope right there. Either the world's biggest microscope or the world's smallest jet. Take your pick. But there they are next to each other. Here he is with Hound. And again, either the world's tiniest Jeep or the world's biggest microscope. That's what I was trying to say. But there you have that. Here he is with Hot Rod. Here's commemorative G1 Prime. And here's Studio Series Perceptor. Overall, I'd say these microscope modes look pretty similar to each other, which is awesome. Right, so I'll get this guy transformed into, mobile artillery emplacement mode, and we'll have a look at him from there. Right, so here he is in his, what was called in Microchange, I believe, was his mobile artillery emplacement mode. And then when he was imported into the Transformers line, this became a mobile laboratory in the original G1 line. So look at it, whichever way you fancy. But yeah, I mean, this mode actually is not in the instruction sheet, presumably because this line's going for a more show-accurate take on the G1 toys. And because this mode never appeared in the cartoon, they didn't include it in the instructions. So that's why I think it's not in the instructions. But this reissue of Perceptor is still capable of pulling off the mode, as you can see. And I mean, honestly, I think it's a fun mode. It can roll a little bit. It's right, there you go. I think everything needs to be positioned right in order for all three wheels to touch the ground. But you kind of get the idea there. And you can take the the big, what is now, the cannon of this big tank thing, I suppose. The cannon can, do that, and it can look down and up. So not a lot of articulation. You could probably get a little Microman to sit in there, or any kind of little figure and place them in there. So those are all play options if you want to make use of them. And for comparison, here he is next to Thundercracker, and I think these two scale a lot better with each other when Perceptor's in this this tank mode. But there you have them next to each other. Here he is next to Hound, next to Hot Rod, next to Optimus, and next to Studio Series Perceptor. And actually, I've just noticed, I love that you can see the Autobot logo on the back there, because the logo is actually printed onto this transparent piece here, whereas on the Studio Series version, it is printed onto the red plastic there. So with it being printed onto this piece, you can actually see it in this mode. And with this piece behind it, it really highlights it even more, which is awesome. But that about does it, and I love this figure. I think he's really cool. I'm so glad to finally have a G1 Perceptor. He's big, he's blocky, he has that real 1980s toy robot feel to him. I'm all here for that. I love his robot mode. His microscope mode's really cool as well. And his tank his tank mode, or mortar cannon mode, or mobile artillery emplacement mode, or mobile laboratory mode, whatever you want to call it, I think it's really cool too. It adds, I think, to the playability of the figure, and it adds more fun. And again, I'm here for it. I really do enjoy it. His accessories are cool. I like the kinda working microscope. It's cool how the front lens goes in and out when you turn the knob at the top. Although when you look through it, there's not really a whole lot to see. It's really quite blurry. But it's still very cool. I still do enjoy that feature. His blasters are cool. Again, like you saw, the launcher doesn't fire anything like the Japanese version, but still, it does the job perfectly well when you're having them on display or when you're playing with them. It maybe would have been cool if there were some chrome parts to him, but as he is, he still looks very eye-catching and very visually appealing. And again, I'm just really happy to finally have G1 Perceptor in my collection. He's a ton of fun, and I'm really loving him. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at Retro Reissue G1 Perceptor, and feel free to let me know your thoughts about him in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a good one.